Hi, we're going to do a tutorial today that isn't chaotic, hopefully. My name's Jordan, Borgoban. Can't really explain that one, but it just is what it is. So today I thought it'd be cool if I showed you guys how to do some fun Chrome balloon text, because I feel like that Chrome type has been pretty popular lately, and I'd like to show people how to do it. So, let's get started here. Let's go into general. We'll have a new file. We'll delete the box because we fucking hate that bitch. No, not really, but yeah, we deleted the box. So, we're gonna start off, folks. Stay with me. We're gonna go Shift Add. And then we are gonna go into text. So here's our magnificent text, looking adorable. We're gonna hit RX90, so we can flip that sucker 90 degrees. Now it's standing up. You can either choose to download your own text, which is what I'm gonna do. Preferably a text that's bubbly. That's probably what I would suggest. You probably could use the normal text, it's just not gonna look, it's not gonna have the same vibe. It's really easy to just download text. I would recommend doing that. So there's my piece. Okay, so we're gonna press tab to go into edit mode, and then you're gonna type out whatever you want to write. So I'm just gonna do Borgoban for the purposes of this video. I'm like triple checking that I spelled shit right, because last video, let's just say it was a very painful video to edit. Jordan Riley. Don't worry guys, I can spell my name. Yeah. Tab, we're back into the normal mode. Okay, here's the part where I'm gonna put in new text. So, let's find it. So what I did is I went into this tab where the text is, and we're gonna scroll down to the font tab right here. We're gonna click file, and we're gonna just upload whatever text we need. I vibe with this font. It's bubbly, it's fun, so this is the font we're gonna go with. Looking pretty flat, pretty basic. So we're gonna change that. So all this is good. Let's extrude it under the geometry tab right here. Let's just do a little bit. How much is up to you? Just fair amount, decent amount, no biggie. We're gonna go under the bevel tab right here, and we're just gonna crank up the depth just a tiny bit. Nothing crazy. Character spacing. I want to space it out a little bit, definitely not that much, just because when they go up, they're gonna, you know, get bigger and clash, so it's better if they're just a little separated. We're gonna take our text, we're gonna select it, and we're gonna convert this to mesh. So now instead of it being text, it's just a mesh object. If you press tab, you can see that. Kind of looks messed up though, if you see what I mean. So we're gonna fix that. We're gonna press tab again to go into object mode, and we are going to add a modifier. It's gonna be the remesh modifier. It's okay if it looks messed up for a second. We're getting there. So what this does is it basically, as it says, remeshes your object. So right now it's on a low resolution, so we're gonna change the voxel size, and we're gonna crank that down a bit until it's starting to look like our shape again. I like that, cool. So once you kind of get something you like that's decent resolution, we're gonna go ahead and click apply. Look at that, meshed so well. Now we got this meshed object. We're gonna mess it up. But in a cool way, don't worry. What we're gonna do is we're gonna select cloth. Give it a minute. It's gonna overwork your computer, especially if you don't have like a decent computer. It's not gonna be great. So we're gonna scroll down. We don't really have to mess with any of these guys. What we are gonna mess with though is this pressure tab. So we're gonna click on that guy. Cool, okay. And we are going to hover over this and press I. Cool. So now if you go down here to the timeline, you can see I pressed I there and it turned yellow, and it's gonna add a timestamp right there, or a marker, if you know what I mean. You got it. And then before we do anything else with that, we're gonna change our end frame to, let's see, I'm gonna stick with 20. I feel like 20 is a good number. And then for our pressure, we're gonna move our marker from frame 1 to frame 20. Let your computer breathe, folks. They're trying their best. So we're on frame 20. Don't look at what's happening like on the screen with our text. It don't matter right now. What we're gonna do though is we're gonna change our pressure to 50 right now, and we're gonna go ahead and press I while we're on frame 20. So as you can see, that added another marker. Let's scroll down. We're gonna go down to the last tab, field weights, and we're gonna turn gravity all the way down to 0. Cool. We're gonna skip back to frame 1. Listen, I'll even look in the camera, not at myself, for once. Save this. Save this, please. It's not worth the mental breakdown, I promise you. Saved it? Good. Now, we're gonna press play on this guy. And no, it's not supposed to go fast. Sit back, listen to some music, take a break, and we're just gonna wait for it to render out its cache. I'll see you then. Stay hydrated. Look how beautiful it looks. Okay, we're getting there. We're on frame 12 out of 20. She's looking fine as hell. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, definitely just let your computer do its thing. Don't touch it. It takes a minute. Also, with the physics stuff, it's trial and error. Just thrive in the chaos, okay? That's all you can do. Some would disagree, but you're not clicking on their tutorials, are you? It's done. Now for the fun part. We have all this cached out. It's probably gonna freeze on me now that I got excited, because that's how life works. What we need to do is just pick a frame that we like. So, see, I get excited and my computer tells me to fuck off. It still looks good though. We're staying positive. So let's stop on a frame. I like that frame, actually. I'll leave it at that. Okay, and then again, just for good measure, I'm gonna save since we got something we like. So I'm stopping around frame 16 here. Yes. So now we're gonna select our object right here. We're gonna right click it and we're gonna do convert to mesh. And make sure you really like this frame, because this is the part where setting it in stone. So convert to mesh. Okay, now, no matter what, it's gonna stay like the one frame you selected. So now we don't need to deal with these keyframes anymore, so let's delete those. Okay, so now we got some beautiful bubble letters. Tasty, scrumptious, but just wait, we're gonna make them better, because we're going to my favorite part, which is the nodes.
I have nodes.
Okay, so here's the time where we're gonna open a new frame. Just gonna go up here to the top corner and slide on over. We're gonna go up here and we're gonna click Shade Editor. Go up here from the Object tab and we're gonna go down and select World. So now we have two little guys right here. We have background and world output. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna Shift A, we're gonna search Mix Shader right there. We're gonna put that in there, and then we're gonna go Shift Add Light Path. We're gonna put this above background, and we're gonna plug Is Camera Ray into Mix Shader. It's not doing anything yet, that's okay. We're gonna Shift A Environment Texture. Add that here, plug color into color. Shift Add Mapping. Vector into vector. Shift A again and type in texture coordinates. And we're going to press generated into vector. And obviously it's not showing anything because I need to press Z. And we're going to go into rendered view. Hold down Z to be more specific. And as you can see, it's not looking like a lot, but we're going to do something to change that. We're going to open a new environment texture. It's a little hard to explain at first, but an environment texture or an HDRI, which is what you plug into it, is basically just like an image, give you some like reflections and stuff. So if you're starting out on this, definitely just go to HDRI Haven and pick out any HDRI. I can also link the one I use down below. It is good to add HDRIs because they definitely add a lot to your pieces. So we're gonna go to desktop. I have an HDRI folder, and the one I'm using is the rural landscape. It's nothing special, it's literally just a landscape. That's it there. And I know you don't see much yet, but bear with me. We're going back to object. We're gonna select our object, and then we're gonna go up here and press new. So now we have a new object right here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn metallic up, like all the way. Specular, we can crank it up a little bit. And then here's where the magic happens. We're gonna turn roughness down. Woohoo! So you see, I like keeping a little bit of roughness. We don't want it to look like a mirror. I mean, if you want to, that's your prerogative. But I'm gonna turn roughness up just a hair, just to kind of give it a little like balloon effect, I guess. But yeah, so you can see the clouds and stuff from that previous HDRI. So it just basically makes the object look more realistic with its reflectiveness. There we go, English. Now, my brain just broke. Now, we're gonna make this fun for us. So we're gonna go Shift Add, and we're also gonna add an environment texture into this one. This one's less for the effect and more for just the fun of it. We're gonna plug that into base color. We're gonna go Shift Add, mapping, vector into vector, and then Shift Add, texture, coordinate. And then we're gonna plug generated into vector. So now, this one's a little different. For this environment texture, we wanna open up something colorful, something fun, chaotic even, might I say. No, so we're just gonna open, I'm gonna go back into my HDRI folder. I can also put this one down below too, because these are ones that I make. These ones are more colorful, abstract HDRIs. Sure, I'm vibing with the purple. Let's go Shift A over on the object side, and we're gonna go down to light, and we're gonna add an area light. So we can drag that over here, and then press S to scale it up. And we need to move it again. Okay, cool. So now we got a light over this, and with that light, we're gonna crank up the power a little bit. Let's try 1,000. It's a little better. Okay, yeah, I'm not mad at that. Maybe a little bit less, just for good measure. And let's also delete our light we had at the beginning, the default one. The black background can be, you know, pretty average, so if you want, I might actually prefer this as well. We can take out light path, just unplug it from factor. And so now we have our HDRI like in our background. And this is where the mapping and texture coordinates come in. We want to rotate it, not that way. We can rotate it up so it's like pointing at the clouds. We can have a cool cloud background. We're gonna click on the camera, and then there's a little tab right here, an arrow, and we're gonna go to view, and then we're gonna go lock camera to view. We'll select that. So now wherever our view goes, the camera's goes. Don't know if that was proper English, but you get it. You tell them. Instagram format, why not? Let's do it 1920 over in this tab. So now it's 1920 by 1920. It's a square. And a cool animation we can do. This one's very simple. This is not going to be too deep. We're going to go back to the first frame right here. Make sure this is center, and we need to select our camera. We're going to take out this little edge, and we are going to zoom in on the Y and position our camera a little bit so it's kind of coming through the letters. Yeah, that's fine. So we're gonna start our camera from right here on frame 1, and then once you get a spot where you're just seeing the clouds, you're gonna press I to insert a keyframe. Now we're gonna go to frame 50. By the way, mark your endpoint at frame 50, and we are gonna zoom back till you can see the full thing. Like about there is good. And then again, we are gonna press I. So now you should come out with an animation that kind of zooms back out from it. Now let's actually get a way for you to get this in a video format. We're gonna go down to output properties, and let's go down. So we need to choose an output folder. You can usually do desktop. One thing I had to learn the hard way, you gotta change your output folder for every render you do, or else it will just go over the top of the render you did beforehand. So always make sure you change your render output folder before you render a new video. Hopefully that makes sense. Just change it is all I gotta say. So right now we're just gonna render that to the desktop. We're gonna change our file format to FFmpeg video. Go down to encoding, and then we're gonna change this to MPEG-4. And then the quality, output quality, we're gonna change that to perpetually lossless. So yeah, that's all you gotta do for that. Then all you do is just press render, and then render animation, and then it will render straight to whatever output folder you chose. So mine will render straight to the desktop, if that makes sense. Yeah, so if you like this video, tell me. If you didn't like this video, tell me. And with that, thank you for watching, and hopefully you learned a thing or two. Bye.